Exactly. But I can't tell anybody that, so I'm not. When you can do the things that I can, but you don't, and then the bad things happen, they happen because of you.
So you want to look out for the little guy, you want to do your part, make the world a better place, all that, right?
Yeah.
Hello, children. Welcome back to the Chit Chat Podcast, Season 4. I hope you enjoyed your Christmases, your inaugurations, your Groundhog's Day. Is that not happening?
That's February.
Don't worry about that. New show, new look, new guest. I'd like to welcome first Collin Brown.
Hey, I'm back.
Welcome back to the podcast. It's been so long.
I finally got over COVID.
Well, good. And you've been so kind enough to bring it to us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. The gift that keeps on giving.
I was going to bring it for Christmas, but I thought that'd be a little, too much.
It's never too late. It's never too much. We appreciate you.
Exactly. I appreciate me, too.
Miss Michele Eves.
Oh, he knows my last name. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I really didn't think you knew my last name, but that's
I know
my
everything. As a pretty motherfucker.
You are gorgeous. You are beautiful.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank
Again.
you. Yeah, I'm back in action, baby.
Like for you, it's been a minute.
It has. You started recording them, and I was like, you know what? There's a visual aspect to it. I think I gotta go. So,
well, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here,
I appreciate it,
guys. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm trying to stick to NPR trade. It's a new year.
I'm getting Obama.
Oh, thank you.
You look like a grandpa.
You do look
shut
like
up.
a grandpapa.
Daggone it.
The one
This went
sitting in the corner
downhill.
in his recliner,
This is my grandpa Wookiee chair. From,
asking the young
from Star
ones
Wars.
to make him a plate.
Yeah.
You need a
that's-
rocking chair on your patio.
I actually have a lawn chair out there that I usually, when it get a little warmer, I like to sit out there and look at the neighborhood kids say, "Get off my lawn! Howdy, y'all youngins!"
How
But that's
Black
not the
Mamba.
here, no there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I got see. Wait till we finish the show. I got some pies in there for you, but we're gonna talk about that later because we got a lot of stuff.
Are
to
we
go
were going
over.
to talk about the pies on the
We're gonna
podcast?
talk, no, we're not late on the podcast. After the podcast. This is post-podcast pie right there.
Okay.
There we go.
You have to subscribe to the Patreon to
Yeah,
hear
if you
about the
get to the
pie.
Patreon,
Patreon
we'll mail
pod
you a
pie.
pie.
Gotta
Yeah.
make that pea pot.
I'm making promises I will not keep. Speaking of promises,
Mhm.
y'all know about that Netflix? Y'all got that Netflix?
I got that Netflix.
My friend has a Netflix that I log into.
Well, I tell you what, don't tell Netflix that. They ain't gonna be happy about it.
Netflix ain't going to do shit.
Probably because they too busy
Mhm.
throwing out movies every week of this year.
Yeah.
Hello world, Gal Gadot is here.
And Uncle Handsome.
Whoa. And Ryan.
Yeah.
Netflix people, if you don't know, has decided to throw out a trailer starring probably the most starable stars that they ever starred. Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Gal Gadot, to tell y'all that they are putting out movies every single week in the year of 2021. What do y'all think about that?
Bold strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they're all not super expensive, I don't really see how that's going to hurt them any more than them releasing 5 shows a year that they all cancel.
Right.
Go for it.
I feel like it's just kind of like the older kid coming back to the family reunion to be like, hey, we're successful, because they were the original streaming service.
Mhm.
They were also the first pioneer being original content on a streaming service. I feel like it's just them basically coming back to be like, we're the best.
Okay.
I think they need to calm down, but
You think they need to calm down? What do you
Yeah.
mean calm down?
I
Disney
mean,
Plus is chilling in the corner with their mohawk, and they got those Hulk fists on.
yeah.
And they're punching the grandma, and Netflix just smacks that out of their hands. And I'm successful. I have a resume.
I'm the best one.
And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson comes out.
I mean, honestly, to get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to finally come
I
to
don't feel
Netflix.
like that's that hard.
Yeah, he'd go wherever the money
I mean,
goes.
love him to
Wherever there's an
death, but-
explosion.
The man
he's-
is so busy. He's like a big name with every single other studio.
I
though.
bet his
Well,
daughter doesn't know him.
That was out of nowhere.
Well, my thought there was that like he probably is really busy, and she doesn't see him. I just feel like it might be lonely.
you honestly probably right because you know about The Rock. He has a traveling gym that he brings around with him, a mobile gym. So probably while they should be hanging out and stuff, he's in the gym, lifting them weights.
I like the idea of one day when Mr. The Rock passes. They're eulogizing. They're like wrestler, actor. He made tequila that one time. Father.
Maybe. I just want to see pictures of him like bench pressing his baby.
That happened.
Like that's probably how he rocked her to
for
sleep.
sure.
I can't imagine it's that hard.
So other than like talking junk about The Rock, I didn't know we were going to go deep cuts about The Rock. That was so out of left field.
Yeah.
But no, here's my thing about the whole thing because one, Netflix puts out so much content that I'm pretty sure that they probably did the same thing last year when they put a new movie out every week. If you're counting documentaries and stuff like that, they probably did put out a whole movie every week last year. It's just, how would you know? There's so much glut on Netflix. How would you know? This was a weird,
I feel like they did it because they know quarantine isn't ending for most people anytime soon. So they'd be like, we're going to give you a lot of content to watch this year. We're going to put a movie out every week, even though we do that already. But this one's got The Rock in it.
Right.
And I feel like that's all it is streaming services see the opening, so they're going for it.
Right. Because it definitely does seem like that, especially after Warner Brothers and their news of like putting out movies, all their movies day and date with the theaters and stuff. It's kind of like they're just like settling in their flag in the dirt. Like we've been here doing that stuff.
Older sibling.
Fair enough.
I wonder if they're going to do, is it Bright? I wonder if they're going to do Bright 2.
They had such an ambitious budget for the first one, and they had like a built-in one for the second. And then Will Smith and his entanglement thing happened, and then the movie never did. So I'm very curious. I agree with you. I want to see a Bright 2. I liked
that
it.
movie.
It was
a lot
good.
of people didn't, but I really did enjoy that movie.
I liked the idea and the world more than the movie.
It was what I wanted Artemis Fowl to be.
Oh God, let's not talk about Artemis Fowl. That
All right,
was
we won't.
garbage.
As someone that read those books as a kid, I was pissed.
That was piss poor movie.
I was angry.
So out of the list of the stuff that we seem to have here, what y'all see anything y'all like that piqued your interest?
Not really.
Really?
No.
I didn't. I liked the trailer. My most intrigued moment was Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer being in some sort of weird superhero movie, because that's going to be horrible. But I love that that's happening, that's like a team up we're getting, because Octavia Spencer, I thought she was like, let me be like serious, but
so there, and that's fine for a serious actor to go comedic. I'm just
sure.
I wanted Melissa McCarthy to do better because she did better once, and then now she's back to the kitchen.
Spy.
I ain't like it.
Oh, you're talking
about
was
good.
Spy was interesting.
That movie was dumb, but I loved it.
She's still doing that old I'm fat falling around shit that seems to be like.
She was a little bit more in charge in that movie, though.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I ain't really
it was more.
It was
more Jason Statham that was the idiot in that movie.
Okay,
which was great.
See, I liked her in the kitchen, man. If you ain't seen the kitchen,
that was a horrible movie.
What do you mean that was a horrible movie?
I feel like that. Sorry, let me like backtrack that. It was not that great. I feel like it let me down. Like
how so?
That was a tragic use of Common, first of all. Second of all,
the magnum, the gravitas actor Common.
Okay, but like, why even put him in there? Also, what is his name? The ginger guy.
Domhnall Gleeson.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
was great in that movie.
Great, he did phenomenal. I'm not going to say anything negative about him.
Okay,
I am gearing up to be kind of whatever about our good sis, who I don't even feel comfortable like saying her name because I don't want to slander her in public. But like, how are you going to just do one face the whole time, the entire movie?
Who? Which one?
I don't want to say it.
Say it. You're literally on a podcast. You literally have to say it by
now,
law.
At this point, I'm going to keep it a sack with you guys. Forgot her name.
That's the damn truth. There it is. Right
but what is her name?
She was like, I don't want to shame her.
No, she's a comedian usually, and this is like her
no. I know you're talking about
fried chicken at the red carpet. What is her name?
Damn, y'all are assholes. I didn't even see that movie.
She was in Like a Boss. I'm looking at you now. What's the name? not Taraji B. Henson. What
It's
is her
not.
name? It starts with a T though, don't it?
I don't know, but
Yes.
we know who we're talking
We know
about.
what we're talking about.
But
She's in Like a Boss. She was in
She's in that
damn
one.
Tyler Perry comedy movie. What's that one?
What is the show with Wow, this is we're really
I hope she watches
Tiffany
this episode.
Haddish.
yes.
Tiffany Haddish. There it is.
Terrible serious acting skills.
Miss Haddish, I love
was good in that.
your
Nah.
work,
Yeah,
and I remember who
was.
you
She just
are.
constantly flared her nostrils and was like staring at the camera like, I'm a black woman. I've been through some. And I was like, all right, yeah.
She was a black woman.
Yes, but there was such a one-dimensionalness to that character. I'm so sick of black stories having to have trauma for them to be heard.
No, because her character in there was one that was like wasn't going to be taken advantage of no more, and she was going to use her position as a black woman and fucking marry her way into the mafia in order to get herself into a position of power that she wasn't going to let go because her friends wanted to get rid of that shit. Her character didn't have one dimension.
Listen,
that shit was new.
what you just described was beautiful. What I saw was not that.
It was that. Well, we looking at two different movies.
I
then.
suppose we did.
All
my good
right,
sir.
then. Well, okay, then you keep on listening.
I will watch it and report back.
You be
Thank
our
you.
tiebreaker, please.
I'll be the tiebreaker. I am the perfect voice to speak on the black experience.
Caucasian Collin coming in clutch. with-
Caucasian Collins corner.
Yes.
Caucasian's corner.
And I will tell you what I
Well,
think.
please do.
I won't, but
Okay,
I will.
I want you to for real. But okay, well, there's something that caught my interest. We got a Fear Street movie coming out.
A
Fear
what?
Street, y'all remember Fear Street? R.L. Stein. It was
Like-
the other series he made other than Goosebumps.
I didn't catch that one.
Here's
Yeah. It was like a little snippet.
here's
Wasn't that long.
my ultimate issue with this, whatever they're doing, and just Netflix in general. When they started making a lot of original content, most of their films were like really high quality.
Mhm.
Like they did Beasts of No Nation, right?
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can follow you there.
Great.
They had like one or two. That
Well,
was
they
high
had a
quality.
couple that were really high quality, and it felt like that was the direction they want to go in. And now most of the films they release feel like things I could see on like TNT on like a Saturday morning.
I can't follow you there because they're starting to make actual quality films.
Like what?
Like The Irishman. Like
Okay. That only happened
The
because he
Marriage
couldn't sell
Story.
it to anyone else.
That's fine. They got it. They picked up the ball
Yeah.
and they ran with it. And guess what? Touchdown.
Valid.
You know, Marriage Story. I
Okay.
haven't seen, but that looked good and it did interest me.
Great memes.
Yeah.
And that's what we do it for, right? We do it for the damn memes.
The memes.
And other shit that I can't name right now because I didn't have that prepared. I didn't have time to prepare my
So
argument.
they got like 3 over the course
See,
of like
that's
10
not
years.
fair. They do have a lot. I just can't name them. That ain't fair. Guys.
Obviously, they're not that good.
The
then.
Old Guard.
That was phenomenal.
Thank
I
you.
must-
Okay.
You on your face right there. You're like, Psh, the Old Guard.
Okay,
Then
4.
everybody else is like, that shit good. You was
Okay.
like, all right, fine.
4.
You want me to name every single one of their heaters? They're coming out with more actual good stuff
Okay.
than like honestly than what's coming out in theaters.
I don't know if I could agree with you on that one.
Okay.
But fair.
Well, what's coming out in theaters?
Well,
that's
nothing
so
right
great?
now.
Exactly. Netflix is still pumping shit out, is what I'm saying. Even stuff in this trailer. There's apparently a movie with the chick be Jennifer. I was about to say Jennifer Walters.
Jennifer Lawrence?
Jennifer Lawrence and the Capricorn. They're gonna make some kind of atmosphere movie, astronauts or some shit like that. I ain't catch the title. It just showed them in the trailer. I had to look it up afterwards. This honestly, this isn't gonna be a good movie. This ain't capital A art, but this movie with Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, that look like that's gonna be a heater.
That feels like a DC film waiting to happen. Like I felt like
Honestly.
that when I saw that at first, I thought that's what was happening, and I was kind of concerned and confused and a little scared.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also, not gonna lie to you, until this moment, didn't realize that they were all in a movie together. I thought
Yeah.
they were just like, hey, pretty hot, famous people, come advertise for us.
Just pretty hot.
No,
They're all pretty average.
Okay.
I was
Look,
pretty
you want to talk about man
hot,
crushes?
comma.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Boy, what's his wife? Blake
Lively.
You better watch out.
equally.
I steal the
Like-
shit out your husband. I'm
Ooh.
just kidding. I steal the shit out you too. Anyway, but no. So that
I'm sure they need a pool boy.
Say what now?
I said I'm sure they need a pool boy.
Miss Johnson, I'll be out there in my motherfucking Speedos. Be like, yes, ma'am, Miss Johnson. What you want, Miss Lively? Shoot. She be like, you want some lemonade, young black child? And I'll be like, yes, ma'am.
We got your cookout tray while we were filming our movie today.
You think I wouldn't take that shit? Anyway, y'all gonna leave me alone. There's the woman in the window is one that was shown in that trailer.
I'm so excited for that.
That is a movie trailer that me and Shake saw in the theater, and then I just forgot about it because nothing happened with it. And I guess that's pandemic stuff, you know what I mean? Right. But now it's coming on Netflix. That's what I'm saying. If Netflix don't make originals that's great, they will pick up the ball on something else and take it. And I love that.
They're good at accumulating wealth.
Well, and that's the thing is it's so much. I mean, it's what, a movie a week? So 52 movies. There's really no way you can get the entire spectrum of what they're releasing in one trailer that's coming out right now, because some of that stuff's still got to be finishing up post-production, I would imagine.
Maybe.
So, I mean, I'm talking trash, but I mean, I'm sure out of 52 movies, at least a few of them would be quality. Okay. It's like, I'm talking trash, but it's just because, like, Netflix kind of annoys me.
Well, you know what? Here's something that ain't annoying. Here's something that might be a little bit of quality. Depends on, what your feelings about
I'll decide that.
I will let you decide it, sir. There's going to be an Indiana Jones video game.
Yeah.
Made by the developers who developed Wolfenstein. Now,
Killing
I played these new Wolfensteins. Michelle over there looking like I don't know what they're talking about. Just please don't call on me. She looked like the kid in the class. Like, please, Miss Johnson, please don't call on me, please.
Please.
Michelle.
Yeah. What's up?
You don't play much video games, do you?
Video games, no.
Okay.
I don't. Okay. Games, maybe. I'm just kidding.
I play them games.
I love Indiana Jones. Okay. So there's that.
So is this like
the last game I played was like Uncharted 4.
Okay.
When it first came out.
I'm gonna tell you this. This ain't that.
What are you talking about? Wolfenstein?
Yeah, Wolfenstein. Well, no, Wolfenstein ain't that.
But Indiana Jones might be.
Indiana Jones is
because it's gonna be third person.
Indiana Jones. Did they say it was gonna be third person?
They said third person action game.
Because thinking about it's gonna be from the Wolfenstein developers, I expected
first person. They said they wanted to try something new.
Oh, that's nice.
So Wolfenstein is alternate reality where the Nazis won.
Oh.
And you're playing as like all American homeboy that kind of like blonde hair, blue eyes, but you're like, I fucking hate Nazis.
BJ Blazkowicz.
I hate Nazis.
So it's like Captain America.
And like you fight like Mecha Hitler and they got some crazy like sci-fi stuff going on and they're really good games. But like weird emotional center where it's like there's times where it's like, oh, I actually grew to like these characters. One of the dudes addicted to acid and he's just popping little acid tablets like halfway through the game. And I'm stoked. And I like Indiana Jones, but like the fact that they're making it, way more excited.
I didn't know it was gonna be third person. That's really interesting.
That's what I read. I mean, who knows? The vibes I get is that they just fucking found out they're making this. That's the vibes I got. Is like, we're making it. It's coming out in 3 years.
I hope it doesn't end up like that Mad Max game, because that Mad Max game came out and I ain't hear shit about it afterwards.
I picked up for $20 on Steam. It was fun.
It was fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And I really hope that because there's going to be a new Indiana Jones movie coming out too.
Right. Yeah.
That's something that's been in development for a while, and I'm hoping they're not. I hope we don't go back to the years of like movie tie-in games, because if we do that, and we're tying the development of the games to the development of movies so that they can release it. It's something that happened back in the day with video games, where a lot of the movie tie-in games, they would get a studio out of nowhere. I don't know if you know the backstory of it now.
I've dated plenty of gamer boys. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
I've suffered plenty.
Look, you might also be the audience for while I'm explaining it to them through you. So go ahead, sit over there and just nod your head ever so slightly every now and again when I say something smart.
You're so smart.
Thank you. See, she gonna kill me. Y'all gonna see Collin hosting the next Chit. What happened to Trae? Don't worry, but
don't worry about it. But yeah, tie-in games. You don't want that?
I hope it doesn't. I hope it is one of those, because usually that's bad for the studio. They're just kind of brought in, used up, and then thrown away like a $2 hooker. I didn't mean to pause right there, but I did. So
I think we all needed to pause after that, actually.
So a couple other things, just for some context. One, the general consensus I've heard is that this is probably going to be prior to the movies. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit like a younger Indiana Jones. Okay, that way they can kind of skirt past it not being Harrison Ford. Good. The other thing is Todd Howard is a producer on this, who is the head guy at Bethesda, who makes Fallout and those games. And apparently he was the one that pitched it which is great, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, again, it's so early. This is one of the situations I was like, y'all probably could have waited a year to announce this with some footage because I don't have a whole lot to
That
talk
should have
about.
been an E3 next year announcement, the video E3 announcement or some shit.
I hate when they announce shit like 3 years before stuff even gets game footage. So like, I'm excited, but it could. I'm worried this is going to be one of those situations where it's like, y'all released an Indiana Jones game. It was good. Uncharted did it better.
Okay.
That's what I'm worried about.
Okay.
But we'll see.
You know what else we'll see? That
No.
Chris Evans. Speaking of blonde hair,
Pretty boy. Yeah. Pretty
old
man.
Captain America. He gave up the shield, right?
Yeah.
Gave up the shield to Sam Wilson, said, you know what, you deserve this. Well, there's rumors he might come back.
That old timey racism. He's like, I don't know. Went to bed that night. He's like, I'm not sure.
True to Chris Evans' shady form, he did tweet that day and he was like, news to me. That's all he tweeted. And you know what? I think he's doing an old fake out. I think he's going to pop up, you know, which is like, if he does pop up, I want you to know that I'm available to emotionally support you through this decision. Because, okay, so I'm rewatching the Marvel movies, as you all know. They, as
the audience knows.
As the audience knows, because I am a narcissist and I assume you know my life. The way that he talks about Captain America, like his beginning of like, oh, I wanted to be more than this. I wanted to be a guy who was doing something, making a difference. I feel like that's how Chris Evans' relationship is with the character of Captain America. He's so bad, like Snowpiercer, like he so badly wants to be something more serious. And he's kind of just become a symbol of the machine. Like as far as like Disney goes, like how Disney completely like modified and destroyed Marvel for what it is.
Whoa, that's hard.
I mean, like I guess maybe I'm just bitter. Maybe I
elaborate. What do you mean they destroyed Marvel? Now I gotta defend my Marvels out here.
Listen, I grew up reading the comics of like Marvel and DC, and I feel like while Marvel has done a better job of bringing them to life, it kind of became exhausting to like go and watch those. And I feel like for me personally, and maybe I'm projecting, it was just hard for me to like watch the things that I grew up very excited coming to screen, very like looking forward to it. And it just being like, God, here we go again. And like rewatching them, I kind of feel nostalgic, but also more so like that. Cause I'm like, wow, this is just, I'm going to work. That's what I feel like.
Wow.
There's certain situations where I kind of agree. And then there's certain situations where I actually feel like the film's kind of elevated certain characters, and I actually feel like Captain America is one of those.
Definitely. He wasn't shit before that. Sorry.
I feel like
I still love you.
I feel like the MCU version of Cap is much more memorable.
It definitely is.
He's more developed. I'll give you that. He's more developed.
Whereas, like, as much as I love Robert Downey Jr. and I love that version of Iron Man, it's kind of different. I mean, it's kind of a lot different.
No, all the characters are very different than their comic book counterparts. For doggone sure.
And for the most part, I think it's for the better, just for the pacing that movies have compared to comics, because you don't have as much. You don't have I mean, you had 1 decade to develop these characters as opposed to 5 or 6 in the comics. So in certain circumstances that works. In others, it doesn't work as well for me. Controversial opinion. I love both the movies, but I'm actually not as into the MCU version of Peter Parker as I am certain other adaptations. And I love those movies. They're great. They're a lot of fun. But they feel like Disney-fied version. His whole background is riding on the back of Tony Stark, whereas in the comics, he's this kid that comes from kind of basic means and works his way up. Whereas now it's like, I'm able to do this because a millionaire white dude gave me all this money.
No, he was doing that before. He was doing it before Tony.
Yeah.
Tony just gave him a nice ass suit.
Not
Tony
with all
took
that
an
technology,
interest.
though.
No, exactly.
But he had Oscorp
Did you see his suit?
before.
Yeah, he
didn't have Oscorp in
Not for
the
the
MCU.
suit, but for like, you know, his like, that's how he perfected like his.
In the Amazing Spider-Man.
You think about the Amazing Spider-Man, not the MCU Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I thought we were I'm sorry, I thought we were contrasting.
Like to me,
like what you didn't like.
To
versus what you
me,
wanted.
is goofy as the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies are. I think the tone of maybe not Peter Parker, but just the tone of New York in those movies fits with my version of Spider-Man more than
I'd
the
give you
other
that. It's
two.
grittier.
I feel like
it's less kitschy.
You out here digging more like the 90s Spider-Man, or excuse me, the 80s Spider-Man.
No, I truly like.
That's how that
I
comic
truly
feels
like
to
a
me.
version of Spider-Man where it feels like he is out in the streets, out in back alleys doing things, whereas the MCU version feels like I'm gonna go chill at Stark Tower for a few. Shit, some technology got stolen. I'll take 10 minutes to go to the bodega to make people feel that way.
That's because they're doing it. They're going about the other way,
Right,
you know
and that's fine. And that's
he's
my whole
developing into
that's
that
my whole
Spider-Man.
point. And that long term could work out that way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my point. Is this version of Spider-Man feels very Disneyfied and
See,
feels
I wouldn't say
different.
Disneyfied. I'd say different. I definitely say different, but I say Disneyfied because that feels like it's coming with a bad connotation of the motherfuckers starting to talking to animals and shit like that. You know.
Not necessarily, because like I feel like the Guardians of the Galaxy feel kind of Disneyfied compared to the comic book parts, but that works for that.
Out of all the MCU movies that I have like shaky relationship, I don't like the Guardians of the Galaxy as much as everybody else do.
I give you
know?
that, but I haven't
with
Chris Pratt, so I think that's what my situation.
I haven't long term. I really liked both the movies when I saw them in theaters, and then retroactively have softened on both of them.
I just, man, it has to do with Gamora because in the comics, Gamora is actually the most like the actual like most dangerous woman in the world in the comics or in the universe in the comics.
She's a space Black Widow in the movies, though.
Exactly, and that's it's just kind of like. Where is the Gamora that I love?
On
You know
Drax.
what I mean? And, oh God,
Drax is a living
they butchered
weapon.
my boy.
They killed him.
Killed my How'd you do this to my
Which,
boy?
like, I'll be completely honest, I'm okay with them nerfing power levels a little bit because if you had them just truly be godlike, it would kind of take some of the tension out. Because, like, in the comics, like, without the Infinity Gauntlet, Hulk would fucking body Thanos.
Yeah.
Like, just truly would realistically just destroy it. Because Hulk just, there's no limit. It's the angrier he gets, the
stronger
he can
he
blow
is.
up planets.
Right.
Same.
Yeah. But you can't do that in the movies because then the tension's all gone. So you got to have Thanos beat the ever-living shit out of him.
Yeah.
To create that tension. So I get why they modify power levels, but then that's kind of offset when you've got Captain Marvel rolling up out of nowhere
and just
that
wrecking
can
shit.
do anything. Which great. I love Brie Larson. I'm kind of ambivalent to the character of Captain Marvel. I don't really have a relationship with that character in the context of the comics. Seems fine. I love Brie Larson though. But she just kind of did roll out of nowhere and go, yeah, I'm more powerful than every single one of you.
She did.
The character that I think is just insanely powerful that I personally connect with the most is Scarlet Witch, who got some shine in Endgame.
Her shine is coming.
I'm glad because she's a character I really enjoy in the comics, but in the movies I felt like was kind of in a weird middle ground where it was like her whole character was her trauma.
Yeah.
But it was always in the background.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, she's the weird goth chick that's traumatized.
Right.
We keep her back here until we need her to melt Thanos.
And now that's coming into the forefront.
And now she's gonna be a main character, and I'm all for it.
I'm hoping her accent comes back the way that her story arc has.
She said Pietro.
She did, and that was
weird.
once out of 3 episodes.
Pietro.
Colin and I are the only ones who have like watched.
Yeah,
you are because I haven't watched it at all, and we've gotten completely off topic with what this topic was about.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about Chris Evans coming back into Captain America, and then he just got into the MCU.
He's gonna show up in the Wolverine miniseries that takes place in World War II. I'm calling it now.
I just hope that he don't get that shield back because I have a long-standing history with the storyline of Sam becoming Captain America.
But if it's in the past,
getting bogged down, we don't know that. We don't know what's going on with that. And if it's in the past, that's totally fine.
What if
they use him to introduce Wolverine? I'd fucking love that.
What if they do some like Hydra brings him back shit, and he's like
and we
brainwashed?
do like
there is a
Supreme,
storyline where he
the
Secret Empire.
Yeah. If they do that, that'd be great as long as he don't get that shield back at the end of it. I hated the way they used the whole Cap Falcon storyline in the comics, and I hope we don't see a repeat of that in the MCU.
If you want me to be completely honest with you, with the way they're really building the idea of this multiverse and they're bringing Fantastic Four back, I think truly what it's going to be is in 10 years we're going to have a Secret Wars storyline where everyone's there.
I hope,
and then you can have Sam and old Steve Rogers both with a shield because it's alternate universe stuff.
I mean, I guess that's sure.
Why do you sound so like jaded by that? Like I feel like you don't.
Because it's predictable. I like it.
That's my whole beef with Marvel, though. And like,
but see, it's not predictable because we
popcorn.
don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we kind of do.
This is all maybes. You know, we still don't know what how the multiverse of madness is
I think it's less
shake
maybes
out.
and more probablys.
I'd go maybes. I'm gonna sit over here in the babies camp, and then we'll see. I'll meet you in 4 years afterwards when Avengers 5 come out.
And this podcast is definitely still a thing.
Shut up. This podcast is forever. This podcast is forever.
We'll see.
Wakanda forever. This podcast forever.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. After that, after as you said, when we had to cut cameras, the Marvel fan cast is over. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for watching another episode of the Chit Chat Podcast. I'm gonna go in reverse order than the way I started. Michelle, where can them people find you on the internets?
Crab Shell, because I'm clever. On Instagram or Twitter, it's CRAB and then CHELE. I usually write a lot of emo love poetry, even though I'm forever, not doing that. Or you can find me on my own podcast that doesn't, we're just gonna skip that. Let's go back. Collin.
The podcast that don't currently exist, but we're gonna talk about that afterwards. Collin.
Hey, I'm doing nothing of note because I'm really not productive as a human being, but I do have a Twitter. It's CEBBERS18, and sometimes I say I'm going to stream on Twitch. One day it might happen. Trae, where can they find you?
You know where you can find me, people. Y'all know y'all can find me on that Letterboxd, King Price for Life. Y'all know anywhere that this stuff is happening, I'm going to be there in some capacity because I'm like Emperor Palpatine. I couldn't even say that right. You heard Emperor Palpatine. But you can find us on YouTube. If you listen to this on YouTube, then guess what? You can go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, ring that bell for them notifications. We be streaming on Twitch, Trae from P12. Again, ring that bell for them notifications. Everybody got bells now. You can see us on Instagram Production 1200, Facebook Production 1200, where you can leave comments on all the stuff that we do, and we look so beautiful. Don't you agree? Hey, if you listen to this on iTunes, please rate, review us, give us 5 stars. That's the only way we're going to be able to get to other people that you think would love us.
Like Marvel.
Kevin Feige. Look at your boy. Ain't no pretty. Look, we thank y'all. We do from the bottom of my heart. Leave comments. Tell us what you think about the stuff that we're talking about here today. Because y'all know I'll listen to your opinion. I'll answer back. Maybe I won't. Sometimes I get tired. There's a lot of porn in the world. We'll be out. See you next week after next. Look at the movie clubs and the other stuff that we got looking for you. And peace with the 2 fingers.
Avengers!
Assemble.